Would you join me in a moment of silence in memory of the 16th anniversary of 9/11? Almighty God, we gather this evening hour to conduct the business of this city. We'll offer our prayer for our mayor, for the president, for the members of the city council, and for all in authority. Grant to them a sense of justice, strength, and wisdom as they perform their duties on behalf of all thy people. Commend this city, this nation, our armed forces, our law enforcement and fire and rescue, and thy people to thy merciful care and understanding. Remember those who lie upon a bed of affliction. Comfort those who mourn. In the name of the one who is Lord of life, we pray.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Reverend. Mr. Rowley, please call the roll.
Mr. Ricks?
Here.
Ms. Nicholas?
Here.
Ms. Crary? Here. Mr. Smalls?
Here.
President Laz?
Here.
Mayor Mel? Here.
Thank you. Move to agenda item number 5, approval of minutes of the 36th meeting of July 10th, the 37th meeting of July 24th, and the 38th meeting of August 9th, 2017. Does anybody have any changes for the meeting minutes?
Mr. President,
Mr. Ricks?
move for adoption.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Smalls. Call the roll, Ms. Rao.
Mr. Ricks?
Aye.
Mr. Smalls?
I vote yes.
Ms. Nicholas?
Yes.
Ms. Crary?
Yes.
President Laz?
Yes. Move to agenda item number 6, approval of minutes of the work session on September 6, 2017. You have the minutes. Are there any corrections? Hearing none, can I have a motion?
Mr. President,
Ms. Crary.
I move that we approve the minutes of September 6th for the work session.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Ricks. Any further discussion? Call the roll, Ms. Rao.
Ms. Crary?
Yes.
Mr. Ricks?
Aye.
Ms. Nicholas? Yes. Mr. Smalls?
I vote yes.
President Laz?
Yes. Okay, the next agenda item is the appointments to the Arts Council. We've got a couple appointments to the Youth Services Commission. So let me start with the Arts Council, and when I call your name, if you're here, if you'd stand, I'd appreciate it. Laverne Debnam. Charles Devillier. John Drago. Cheryl Dyer. Stephen Echeverry. Kelsey Eustace. Christian Givens. Melissa Holland. Nadia, Janjua. And I hope I didn't mess the name up too bad. Alisa, Kerr. Brenda Wheeler. Okay, these are the new members of our Arts Council. We appreciate you agreeing to serve. I know the majority of you, if not all of you, were interviewed by the mayor. What's the motion? What's the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President, I move that we accept the nominations as presented by the mayor for appointment to the Arts Council.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Crary. Call the roll, Ms. Rao.
Mr. Smalls?
I vote yes enthusiastically.
Ms. Crary?
Yes.
Mr. Ricks?
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas?
Yes.
President Laz?
Yes. Yeah, we're going to want to get a picture of all of you up here, but does anybody want to say a few words? It's your chance. It's on the cable, both of them. Here we go. You just state your name and address for the record, ma'am.
Laverne, Debnam, 340 Laurel Avenue. I'm very honored to be a citizen of Laurel. Laurel has served me well, and now it's my time to give back. So thank you for this appointment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to say a few words?
Hello, my name is Stephen Echeverry. Honored, thank you. I look forward to working with everybody and making Laurel a great place.
Great.
Hi everyone, my name is Kelsey, and I currently work for the Arts and Humanities Council of Montgomery County, so it's really an honor for me to be able to give back to my own city.
Great.
Thank you, and it's an honor to serve.
Great.
Hey, Christian Givens here, and I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity for allowing us to be able to give back to our city of Laurel. We are honored, I'm honored, and I'm excited to serve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
I'm Melissa Holland from Laurel, and I'm super excited.
Thank you.
You're the last one.
Okay.
Hi, Alisa Kerr. I live at 13827 Shannon Avenue in Laurel. We've been residents here for about 13 years, and I do also have an arts background. I used to work for DC Commission on the Arts back in the 90s, so telling my age now. But anyway, I am thrilled to be able to give back to my community as well and show my boys how we do it.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So we look forward toward Cheryl. Oh, Cheryl. I almost missed Cheryl.
I'm Cheryl Dyer. I live at 310 4th Street. And it's so exciting to be part of something new, and I'm glad to be a citizen of Laurel. I think it's the best place in the whole wide world to live, and I'm hoping to help make it even better. Thank you.
You're going to speak to the other applicant. All right, so if everybody will come forward, we're going to get...
The council's going to stand up behind you.
We're going to stand up here, and Ms. Barnes is going to get a picture.
I can't believe John Drago's not here.
No.
Where's she at? Very good? Good order?
Not, Ms. Prairie.
I am standing up.
Come on up front. Down, come up front here. Well, I came up front. Short people up front. I don't know if my Good?
That's perfect.
Thank you all very
Thank
much.
you.
Congratulations.
Okay, the next individuals are being appointed to the Youth Services Commission. Gloria, Arnold, are you here? Okay, how about Frank's not here? But this is very important because they're accepting applications for grants that will be made this fall. They've already made grants, and we go through a cycle where we solicit applications from the different nonprofit groups. They're serving the youth of our community, and they go ahead and referee those applications and make awards. So it's very important. And what's the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President, I move that we approve the recommendations for appointment from Mayor Moe for the Youth Council.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Call the roll, Ms. Rao.
Mr. Smalls?
I vote yes.
Mr. Ricks?
Aye.
Ms. Nicholas?
Yes.
Ms. Crary?
Yes.
President Laz?
Yes. John, you just got appointed. You missed it by 5 minutes. But that's okay. We all know who you are.
That notorious?
Yes, you are. And again, several other members of the Arts Council are here, and we look forward to the great things from the Arts Council. Okay, the time is 7:10. I will open the general public hearing. Look at the sheet. Oh, I was going to skip them tonight. Let me let me regress here. Mayor just reminded me that I skipped over agenda item number 7. Mayor and the mayor and city council reports, and I'll move first to Mr. Smalls.
Thank you, Mr. President. I had the opportunity and pleasure of participating in our town hall meeting that was held here in council chambers. I guess late last week. We had a good turnout. There was a lot of good information that was shared with the residents. And I think these kinds of town hall meetings, we're going to, I think, council host more and more of them as we move forward. Today is September 11th. Yesterday, we had the observance of the interfaith service, 9/11 interfaith service, right here in our memorial garden, just out front of City Hall. I think it was one of the most moving services that I've attended, particularly commemorating 9/11. I sat back, and I'm sure many of us have done the same thing, reflecting on where we were on that morning. For me, I was working in Crystal City, so I was just a stone's throw from the Pentagon when the plane struck, and it was a very scary time being there and seeing the panic that was going on. But more importantly, and I think the thing that we should always remember are the lives that were lost. Not just those emergency responders, but those innocent folks who lost their lives during this tragic event in American history. So I just wanted to make sure that I gave my little piece of my remembrance of that day. That's my report, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smalls. Ms. Nicholas.
Thank you. I hope everyone had a great summer. I've been thinking about 9/11 all day, and I just ask that we continue to pray for the families. On Fox 5 this morning, they talked about, I think it was in New York, they said there were 159 names added to a wall of people that recently died as a result of 9/11, whether it be from fire, smoke, or what. So we have to continue to pray. Also, for the hurricane victims, I just ask that we just be with those families and friends. Some of us have loved ones in those places and friends, so I just ask that we pray for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nicholas. Ms. Crary.
Thank you, Mr. President. August 28th, I attended the first Women Officers celebration at the Laurel Police Department. There were 4 women officers in the 50s. I believe it was 53, 5 women officers, 53 to 55, perhaps longer. They paid their own way to go to the police academy here in Laurel. I believe Jimmy Collins, who worked for the city for many, many years, was related to 3 of them. And I want to thank the chief for putting that celebration on for the families. I participated in the Emancipation Day Walk in support of diabetes. And I want to reach out to Jackie and St. Mark's Church and thank them for sponsoring that year after year. I attended the quarterly awards at the Laurel Police Department, and I want to thank all the hard work that our officers put into working in the city of Laurel. And they deserve those awards most assuredly. This past Friday, I attended the Lauren and Rusty show at McCullough Field, and I want to thank Park and Rec for putting that on. Hopefully we'll get a few more people to attend next year and a few less mosquitoes. This Saturday was, actually it was on the Doggy Dip Day at the pool. I want to send out best wishes to Percy, the pug, who got very excited. Thought he could swim, jumped in with the other dogs, could not swim, sank, and had to be rescued. Walter the Basset will be put on the payroll next year. He enforced all the rules, kept all the other dogs in line. I attended the Morgan State signing of an MOU today. This is a huge event and huge for Laurel, and the mayor will tell you more about that in his report. Upcoming is on Sunday the 17th is the dog show at McCullough Field, and also Riverfest on the 24th. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Curry. Mr. Ricks.
Thank you. Yeah, Percy was a hit. We've been very busy, as you've heard. Emancipation Day was a success. I've talked to a number of people from St. Mark's, and they did extremely well. I think the word should go out, I believe, that Mission Barbecue jumped on board with what their diabetic situation was about, and the alertness that they were trying to bring to that, and Mission Barbecue made a very large donation to that effort at the Laurel Regional Hospital, now University of Maryland Hospital. So that program was very successful. The town hall meeting that we held, this is a number of those types of town hall meetings that we have been having, and I think the council continues to have them. The mayor does an excellent job by reaching out and doing the mayor and council in the park, but it seems like the town hall meetings do generate extra people that don't necessarily see that end of what he does. So I think the council will continue to get the message out and offer these town hall meetings in an effort to bring our citizens up to date with some of the things that we're doing and going to do. I want to thank Park and Recreation. When the council were working for the recycling day at Public Works a couple months ago, we discovered one of the old benches that a Lions Club had donated some 20-some years ago that had become incapacitated for whatever reason. We got that bench out of the junk pile, and we've had it restored, and it's in a delightful place down on Main Street in front of Oliver's. It's a very beautiful bench, and I want to thank Public Works for the fine job that they've done in restoring that bench for us. I want to also compliment the city and its staff for putting on the interfaith service yesterday. It was excellent. And I want to recognize all the police officers in their quarterly honors awards that they've been given. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ricks. As you've heard, although we were in recess from formal work sessions, mayor and city council meetings in August, the members of your city council and the mayor were quite busy working for you. We attended many events and were invited to several neighborhood gatherings. It's always nice to renew old acquaintances and meet new residents at those meetings. We gained something, and hopefully they gained something. As you've heard, we attended the Laurel Police Department Award Ceremony on September 7th. Congratulations to Private First Class Joseph Croft, who has earned a 2017 Maryland Traffic Safety Specialist Award. The Laurel Town meeting, Mr. Ricks and members of the council gave some good reports. As you've heard yesterday, we had the interfaith service in front of City Hall. It was well attended. It was impressive. It was impressive with observing participants from many of our local churches and faiths attending and speaking with one voice. In addition to reflecting the tragedy of 9/11, several of them mentioned throughout the ceremony to remember and pray for our neighbors in Texas and Florida. Half of Florida is without electricity right now today. They're in tough shape down there. Now with our schools back in session, please be mindful that many of our students are out walking and riding bikes in addition to extra vehicles on our streets and about our schools, especially since we're entering into the period where it's getting to be dusk in some evenings, and those children are hard to see, so please be careful. That concludes my report. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. President. A couple things. Condolences to the family of Dr. Richard Compton, who passed away a long time. Laurel, him and his wife Betty Compton, very active in the community. Also to Jeannie McDivitt, who was employee here with the city of Laurel and our Department of Public Works, as well as Jeannie volunteered with our police alumni. And Joyce Emery, who is Miss Leo Emery, that owned the Laurel Arts store down on Main Street, passed away. So our condolences to the family and friends. Also this evening, before the meeting, the Laurel Volunteer Fire Department brought their new ambulance out front. You may have seen it when you came in. That was to show Mayor and Council their new ambulance and make sure they were aware of it, because we do assist both the fire department and the rescue squad with funding. Marty Fleming, who is not here this evening, him and his wife Jane. Jay, their son is getting married, Jay Turney, and he's getting married in Las Vegas, and they are streaming the wedding, so they're going to be watching it at home this evening. So that's why Marty's not with us. We wish both of them and Jay in particular the very best. We did have the Back to School Jam with the Laurel Board of Trade, and sponsored by the city and others, and we want to thank them for putting it on. The dedication, as you heard, I want to thank the chief for the work that him and his officers did for the program on the first women of the Laurel Police Department. The plaque will be set out in front of the partnership hall there, where everyone can see that plaque. You did hear and probably read about the Laurel Hospital, or regional hospital, is now been taken over by the University of Maryland. That announcement was made last week. You should start seeing some changes, the signage, and hopefully we'll bring some doctors back, we'll bring patients back. That's the first step in what you'll see there. There's much to come, and I can't say enough how happy I am to see that Dimensions has been taken over and moved aside, and that the university is moving forward with that. It'll be the best thing for this community. The Emancipation Day, I did have the opportunity, which Donna did not report. I beat her to the finish line at the diabetes walk during Emancipation Day celebration. We also, although I thought you were going to turn your mic on there for a minute, Donna.
Other ways of communicating.
All right. Great opportunity to raise funds, and Jackie in particular and St. Mark's deserve a lot of credit. Weather was not that good that day, but if you've ever been to the Emancipation Day celebration, you know that the food is very good. Mayor and council had the opportunity to go down and have lunch, and again, one of the best chicken dinners or fish, whatever you may want, done by St. Mark's Church. Is just really a good time, great food, and we appreciate the work that they do in the community. I want to thank the chief and his officers for the quarterly awards, new program that the chief started. Instead of waiting till the end of the year, he's now doing them quarterly. We have officers that do many things throughout the year and kind of wait for something that happened in January to report about it to the public in December is just too long. And we want to make sure that the work that our men and women in our police department are doing is getting out to the public. You did hear about Doggy Dip Day. I got there right before the big rescue, or after the rescue, excuse me. So we were glad that took place. Second Saturday on Main Street also took place. We want to remind you about the second Saturday on Main Street. And as you heard, we had our interfaith service yesterday for 9/11. Again, I think everybody, most remember that day, and those that don't, hopefully with these different programs, we'll educate those to remind them of the tragedy and the work and the heart and the lives that were lost, and those that went in to save lives perished as well. So we will always remember that. I know I will. Today, I did have the opportunity with Councilmember Crary to attend the Laurel College Center, which is down on Marshall Avenue. They do a college course And they are, right now, it's Prince George's and Howard colleges that participate. Today there was a ceremonial signing. They have brought on Morgan State. We hope that they grow. That building, they've almost taken over every floor, I think, didn't they, see, Donna? So it continues to grow, and that's as we heard today, if we want people to continue to take their education, you need to make it convenient, and you need to make it affordable. And having this regional center here in the city of Laurel, it really does do that. And we're very happy to support them. We're very glad that they brought on Morgan, and we hope that they will continue to grow. We will be making an announcement regarding, we are partnering with some of the churches regarding the donation drive and other things that we'll be collecting regarding the hurricane in Texas. I think you'll probably see something as well on what's occurred in Florida. And as they continue to actually still do some rescues and get to people, I think the need will grow, and we wish them nothing but the very best. On September the 17th, the annual dog show at McCullough Field will take place. Also on the 23rd September, the McSeany March will take place. That is a walk that Mr. McSeany was very involved in, the Laurel Historical Society and the museum. Then our Park and Recs Department will hold Riverfest on September the 24th. What is the time? Noon? 11? 11-ish to 3. We want you to get there early so when it starts at noon, just in case, you'll be ready for it. Good time. We want to thank Department of Park and Recs as well. I will have another City Hall in the park, which will be at Emancipation Park at 6:30 on September the 27th. And October the 9th is Columbus Day, and our city offices are closed. And then just a quick reminder, on October the 11th will be my time with the mayor. It'll be at the Park and Recs Maintenance Facility at 7905 Sandy Spring Road from 4:30 to 6:30. And, Mr. President, I have one proclamation. Mayor? I do have a proclamation that I want to read. That is Proclamation 2017-14. Whereas Job Corps is a tuition-free training and educational program that connects eligible 16 through 24-year-old men and women with the skills and educational opportunities they need to establish real careers. And whereas Job Corps has 126 centers across the nation and offers training in 11 high-growth industrial sectors, and whereas Job Corps students are taking action through Youth to Youth, Partners for Peace, which in parentheses is Y2Y, to combat youth violence in the United States, and whereas Youth to Youth provides students with the ability to promote peace in their communities by discussing violence and learning about their peers that are affected by youth violence, empowering one another to make a difference and suggesting solutions. Now, therefore, I, Craig A. Moe, the Mayor of the City of Laurel, do hereby proclaim September the 18th through the 22nd, 2017 as Youth to Youth Week in the City of Laurel, and encourage all residents to recognize and support the importance of promoting youth to youth peace programs in the community. Signed by me, Mayor and City Council. Brown,
All right. Well, first of all, I just, the City of Laurel, council members, Mayor Moe, city staff members, I'm just thrilled to be here. My name is Norman Turner. I'm the Center Director at the Woodland Job Corps Center. I have been at Woodland for about 3 months now. Moved here from North Carolina by way of Alabama. And I'll tell you right now, I have really enjoyed myself here in the city of Laurel, also the great state of Maryland. Youth to Youth is a very important cause for the Job Corps program. It is our way to ensure students, our students and young people recognize the importance of anti-bullying and anti-violence. So next week, we will have our Youth to Youth week. We will be hosting 42 students from other Job Corps centers, the Woodland Center, the Woodstock Job Corps Center, and also the Potomac Job Corps Center. This is the first time in Job Corps' history where we have pulled one student from each Job Corps center of the 125 centers. So we'll host our 42 students. We'll have some on-center events. I'd love to welcome any of you all if you find some free time, which I doubt most of you have. But if you have some free time, please make sure Ms. Brown is aware, and we'd love to have you on our campus. As I mentioned, we are all about anti-bullying, anti-violence. In today's society, there seems to be more of that. So our goal is to ensure that we train our students and give them the skills to be able to combat those types of things. So Mayor Mo, I want to thank you again for this proclamation. It means a lot to us, especially with the great city of Laurel. So thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you. So we got a couple of our students. We got a couple of our students here. Mr. Matthew Elliott. He is our Y2Y ambassador that will be representing the Woodland Center, along with Miss Cheryl Wheatley and Miss Tony Brown. If y'all would please come up just briefly, if you don't mind. I hate to take over your meeting.
Mike, it's the president's meeting. You're up. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Matthew Elliott. I've been at Woodland Job Corps for about 2 months now. I'm originally from West Virginia. This is a great opportunity. I can't wait to host kids and our Y2Y and see what great things we can do. Thank
you. Sherry Weekly, also a student ambassador for Y2Y. I've been at Job Corps for about 4 or 5 months. Job Corps has changed my life already immensely, and so I would recommend it for everybody, and Y2Y is kind of like my baby in a way. So I care about it a lot, and I'm very excited, and I'm very honored to be here with you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tony Thomas. I'm also a student at Woodland Job. I've been in Job Corps for 7 months.
So we actually, the mayor and council meet with the principals, all the local cluster of principals here in the schools quarterly. October we meet. I don't remember the actual day. You all are hosting that, so city officials will be there. Your answer has been, you asked, we're there. So, and the principals as well. And we look forward to seeing you all in a couple of weeks. So, again, thank you all very much for the work you do. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 9, the general public hearing. I will open the general public hearing at 7:34. I have no one signed up to speak. Is there anyone wishing to speak at the general public hearing? Mr. Drago. 3 minutes. Right?
3 minutes to get up there. You get it one way or another.
It's actually 2, I thought.
No, 3. If you state your name and address for the record,
I
please.
turned that. You got to get the green light back on there.
Hit the button on the bottom.
Did I get it?
There you got it.
Hey, I'm getting tech savvy. John Drago, I'm down at the Whole Folks Home on Main Street. I didn't come here for this, but it's fast and furious. One of my neighbors mentioned about the change at the hospital, and she read the article and was happy about it until she ran into a little tiny part of it that said something about Maryland University wasn't picking up the retirement part of it, and that made her a little nervous. I told her, I says, I don't think that, they're going to drop, somebody's going to drop that. You'll have it. It's just not mentioned. I know you all were involved in that. I have no idea about any of this. I'm just a messenger. But I told her, and she was aware that you all were in tune with the hospital thing all along. And so all I'm here is to see if somebody has an answer to that, or somebody's plugged into that and could get that answer so that this retired person doesn't worry beyond what they need to. Is anybody able to find out about that?
Okay. You're talking about the pension fund, right?
Yeah.
I think that's been taken care of, but I'll make a phone call tomorrow and double check. Fred,
Okay.
unless Fred, yeah, it's been taken. That's been part of the reason why this has taken so long with the different contracts, funding sources, and all. But the pension fund is being taken care of.
So anyway, that's for another citizen. Do I get my 3 minutes? I just thank you for appointing me to the Arts Council. I haven't been sitting waiting. I have made arrangements on a few things, or put a little bit of plans in place so that there was something there for us to start quick, because I want to hit the ground running on this. I've gotten feedback, but I would have said this myself. There's people interested in having the Arts District extended from the small area that it is. I'm not going to go into that further because of the time. Also, I want to push pretty quickly the thing I brought up last year about the open air market on Main Street on the Saturday. I talked with Greg about this, so he knows more about what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm gonna push hard on that next week when we have our first meeting. Even though we're not organized, we don't really have to be to get something going on that. I did one other thing. I'm aware that you all were hoping that we would raise some funds ourselves along with whatever funds you put at our disposal. And I started to work on some ideas for that, fundraisers. Laurel Millhouse Players is willing to be on board and have a fundraiser performance where the funds would go to our Arts Council. So that I got that taken care of the other day through, let's see, where's her name? Maureen Rogers, who also happens to be somebody on the Board of Trade, which kind of is a pretty good partner to have for Arts Council, I think. So anyway, she and I got together and we hobnobbed for a while. So I won't go into a whole lot of the other things, but I've been doing stuff for about 8 months now in anticipation of this council. Anyway, that's it. I'm done.
John, and I told all of those that I interviewed we're going to take small steps. Now you're telling me we're going to hit the ground running. You got 10 others that you got to sway your way now that the committee's up and running. So.
Oh, that's not hard. At my other Arts Advisory Board that I'm on, that other municipality, they all said they were going to do something one way, and I told them that I think we shouldn't do it that way. And lo and behold, guess how we did it?
All right.
My way.
Thanks, John.
All right, thank you.
Wow. Is there anyone else wishing to speak in the general public hearing? Seeing no one, I will close the general public hearing at 7:39. Move to agenda item number 10, consideration of a bid recommendation for the purchase of one dump truck. Mr. Free, you have the floor.
Yes, good evening. At the work session, it was discussed that Department of Public Works had put together a recommendation to purchase a 10-ton dump truck with a salt spreader and plow. Johnson Truck Center out of Landover was awarded the state of Maryland contract for the purchase of these type trucks. And funding for it is in the fleet replacement program in the CIP using bond monies. The cost is $148,766. So it was our recommendation to the mayor and city council to award this purchase.
Okay, we discussed this at the work session. Are there any other questions of Mr. Free? It's the pleasure of the council.
Mr. President,
Mr. Ricks.
I move that we accept Mr. Free's recommendation and purchase the dump truck that we've been talking about in the amount of $148,766.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Crary. Call the roll, Ms. Rowe.
Mr. Ricks?
Aye.
Ms. Crary?
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas?
Yes.
Mr. Smalls?
I vote yes.
President Laz?
Yes. Thank you. Move to agenda item number 11. Introduction and first public hearing on ordinance number 1917, text amendment number 248, an ordinance of the mayor and city council amending Laurel City Code, Chapter 20, Section 20-1.7, definitions, and Section 20.6.23, accessory structures, bulk regulation, to authorize little free libraries in certain zones and providing for an effective date. I've read the title into the record for the first reading. I will open the public hearing at 7:42. I have no one signed up to speak on this agenda item. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing at 7:42 and a half. The second public hearing with possible action is scheduled for the mayor and city council meeting on Monday, September 25th, 2017 at 7 p.m. Move to agenda item number 12. Introduction and first public hearing on ordinance number 1918, an ordinance to amend the operating budget of the mayor and city council of Laurel, Maryland for fiscal year July 1, 2016 through June 30, 2017. I've read the title into the record for the first reading. I will open the public hearing at 7:43. You have the floor, Ms. Saylor.
Thank you, Mr. President. We discussed this ordinance at the September work session. This is an increase to the FY17 operating budget of $2,578,448. We're taking or reallocating savings from various expenditure budgets, as well as additional revenues received in order to provide an additional pension contribution of $220,000 and, transfer to the capital improvement program of $2,841,741, which will alleviate some future needs to incur additional debt. I would respectfully request that you suspend the rules this evening. Since this is an FY17 budget ordinance, we're in the process of closing out the books and would like to move forward with that. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Saylor. I have no one else signed up to speak on this agenda item. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing at 7:44. What's the pleasure of the, I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules.
So moved, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Ricks. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Nicholas. Call the roll, Ms. Rowe.
Mr. Ricks?
Aye.
Ms. Nicholas?
Yes.
Ms. Crary?
Yes.
Mr. Smalls?
I vote yes.
President Laz?
Yes. Now I'll entertain a motion on 1918.
Mr. President,
Mr. Ricks.
I move that we pass ordinance number 1918 as read into the record by Ms. Saylor in accordance with the operating budget of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland for fiscal year July the 1st of 2016 through June the 30th of 2017.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Nicholas. Any further discussion? Call the roll, Ms. Rao.
Mr. Ricks?
Aye.
Ms. Nicholas?
Yes.
Ms. Crary?
Yes.
Mr. Smalls?
I vote yes.
President Les?
Yes.
Mayor Mel?
Thank you all. Move to agenda item number 13, introduction and first public hearing on ordinance number 1919, an ordinance of the mayor and city council approving and concurring with the City of Laurel Planning Commission's approval of a conceptual site plan for property known as 7003 Van Dusen Road, Laurel, Maryland, zoned MXT, and providing for an effective date. Read the title into the record for the first reading. I'll open the public hearing at 7:46. I have no one signed up to speak. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing at 7:46 and a half. The second public hearing with possible action is scheduled for the mayor and city council meeting on Monday, September 25th, 2017 at 7 p.m. Move to agenda item number 14.
Mr. President, a question on 1919. Just for clarification, isn't that 7003 and 7005?
Christian, what's the address for the ordinance? Is it 7003?
It's 7003 Van Dusen Road, sir.
Yes, that's the address on the ordinance. It may actually be two addresses, but that's the address on the ordinance.
It covers it all.
I thought we dealt with before both of them in our work session.
Okay, thank you, Christian. Move to agenda item number 14, introduction and first public hearing of resolution 1317, a resolution to name an existing structure within an existing park. I've read the title into the record for the first reading. I will open the public hearing at 7:47. I have no one signed up to speak on this agenda item. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing at 7:47 and a half. The second public hearing with possible action scheduled for the mayor and city council meeting on Monday, September 25th, 2017 at 7 p.m. Move to agenda item number 15. Introduction and first public hearing on resolution number 14-17, a resolution of the mayor and city council of Laurel approving an easement for a driveway to access 24 4th Street, Laurel, Maryland, and authorizing the mayor to sign the easement. I've read the title into the record for the first reading. I'll open the public hearing at 7:48. I have no one signed up to speak on this agenda item. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing at 7:48 and a half. Second public hearing with possible action is scheduled for the mayor and city council meeting on Monday, September 25th, 2017 at 7 p.m. Is there any other business to come before the council?
I have something.
Go ahead.
In regards to the Youth Services Commission, the grant application closes on October the 31st, and it's for a $5,000 grant for a nonprofit that's a tax-exempt 501c3, and it's open to any youth-related programs. Feel free to call Jennifer Carmen here in the city if you need any assistance in preparing your application or have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nicholas. Anything else to come before the council? Meeting adjourned.